everyone. How are you doing? I hope you had a great day yesterday. Today is a heart-to-heart. Having a chronic illness isn't easy. I think we can all agree on that. Can you share with your spouse or your loved ones when you're having a bad day? I find it difficult with my spouse, but I have no doubt that he reads my body language. I don't want to come across as a whiny person because I know I can get whiny. My husband and I got married 20 years ago. I was very active at the time. I could keep up with him, even though he's like 14 years younger than me. And then what felt like suddenly I could no longer keep up with him and do the things that I wanted to do, my active life stopped. My husband can see things as they are and never made me feel like I was a bad person. But in my mind, that's not what I thought. I've spoken about guilt before, but let me reiterate that guilt is an internal process. And sometimes the guilt we feel because we can't keep up is real, but maybe not founded on reality. That guilt can immobilize us. It can cause us to go deeper into feeling like we're not enough. So today is a heart-to-heart about allowing ourselves to rest when we need to without the guilty feelings. I hope you took time for yourselves yesterday. I hope you're having a good day today, because you deserve it. Sometimes we need to have that hard conversation with ourselves, that what we're feeling and perceiving is real to us. But when we feel guilty for not getting something done, we probably need to give ourselves a break. I've got dishes in the sink, laundry to do, but I'll get them done. My hips are bothering me a little bit today, and they haven't bothered me for a while, so I don't know what's up with that. But as I usually do when I'm taping this, I'll stop and take breaks and stand and stretch. So just as I was earlier sitting here preparing for this, getting my new camera ready, I did some stretching, and they're feeling better than they were this morning earlier. So it's story time. A week ago, over the weekend, I painted that wall behind me, just that back one. That's all I knew I could handle at the time, one wall, and it took me 2 days to paint the one wall because it was my project. I've told you how I am about my projects, that I wanted to get it done myself. So all that had to be moved out. I also painted that shelving unit, parts of it. I left some wood, like the shelves themselves, I kept wood. I just wanted it to look prettier back there. But if I had tried to do that on a day like yesterday when I was very exhausted, I wouldn't have been able to do it because I had to obviously climb a step ladder just to get to the ceiling height and painting. And climbing up and down the ladder isn't something I can do every day, for sure. But I still plan to get the rest of the walls painted in here and get the French doors painted and all that fixed up around it. But one thing at a time. I don't push myself anymore. This past weekend was busy. On Saturday, I rearranged the furniture in our living room, just a few of them, not the whole living room or dining room, because it's a great room, so they're kind of connected. We have an old electric piano. Here's a picture of it. I moved it to that wall. It was actually across the room. And my husband ended up helping me because he said I was scratching the floor. I didn't put the things underneath the legs. Oops. I couldn't find them originally, but he knew right where they were. And so we got it finished, moved over there. But that required me to move the curio that was sitting there over to its new location. But to move the curio to its new location meant I had to move the buffet over to where the piano used to be. It was a project. And I did think it through, but I always tend to think that I can do more than I can do. Somehow I managed to accomplish it. Maybe not all of it, because I didn't take a picture of the buffet because it's not pretty yet. There's more to do over there, and I just didn't have the energy to finish it. Sunday was a lot less physical because I got my new camera and ring light on Saturday afternoon, but after moving all that furniture, I was too tired to think about how to use it on Saturday. Me and technology don't really get along, and my brain had already shut off. So I wasn't going to try to read the instructions and then not understand a word of it. So I waited until Sunday afternoon. So my husband helped me once I understood how the camera worked. But when I tried to hook it up to my computer and get it to work, it wasn't working right. And I was getting more and more upset by the minute, to the point of tears. That's what I do. He was doing, the stuff that he does and what he likes to do. He does our vegetable garden. It's quite a large garden. I'll take a picture of it eventually and share with you. But he did come in here, and his engineering brain works much different than mine. He's able to just sit down and go doop, 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 and he's got it. Not quite so easy for me. So one thing that I wouldn't have thought of was to connect my camera to the Zoom software that I have used. I figured I wouldn't be using the Zoom software anymore. I'd just be using this camera. But that's not how he set it up. And I'm thankful for that, because I wouldn't have thought of that. And it's, so far, seems to be working really well. But anyways, I was really stressing out. I mean, stressing out. Trying to get this to work without bothering him. And I got really overwhelmed. And that stress yesterday is what I know led me to total exhaustion on Monday. It was all I could do to get out of bed. But I heard my husband outside yesterday with the pressure washer, And I figured he was out there washing his car, and I needed to get my car washed too. So I went outside after I got up and washed my car. Now, it did all the hard stuff, the scrubbing. All I had to do was use the pressure washer. Quite doable, thankfully. But even that was hard, and I was pretty exhausted afterwards. So I ended up coming in here into our living room. That's the dining room right outside the French doors. And then the living room is back here. I watched a couple of Hallmark movies. They're usually sweet and non-stressful, and I could just sit there and relax, have a doggy relaxing next to me, and kind of makes my day. And even though I'm thinking the whole time, I should be up doing something, I knew that I needed to let it go. You have to listen to your body. And my body was saying, no, you're done. You've done enough. So what's my point in all this? Stress is our enemy. And that's because stress weakens our body and our mind. We become more vulnerable to our symptoms. And for me, it's fatigue and exhaustion, sometimes pain. For some, it could be pain and depression. Sometimes you can't completely remove the stressors in your life, though. But I knew ahead of time that my new camera setup was going to be overwhelming to me. So yesterday and today, I'm giving myself grace. So when you know something is going to stress you out, plan a day or two for yourself afterwards. It's part of learning to cope. So yesterday I went out and relaxed on a chaise lounger on the front porch deck and just laid there in the hot sun and let my muscles just soak up that sun, and it was wonderful. I don't allow myself that kind of relaxation very often, and maybe because my husband was home and it was a holiday, I allowed myself that relaxation. But I was thinking, why don't I allow myself this more? We deserve it. And I came in feeling better in my muscles. I gave myself permission to relax. So about 4 p.m. yesterday, Monday, I was already thinking about taking my bath, my relaxing bath. It's what I look for at the end of my day every day. Tesla says he wants to come and say hi. Hi, baby. Yes. Yeah. He's pitter-patting around here, aren't you? You're just a sweet baby. Say hi. Say hi to everybody. Sometimes I think it's just fibromyalgia. I mean, I really do think that sometimes. Maybe from the early days of when I was first diagnosed, although I feel a little more privileged that fibromyalgia was becoming more known in 2008 than it was for some of you who have had it 20 years or more. But even still then, I didn't like sharing. That's not fair to myself. It's not fair to the people around me who have to live with me or be around me when I'm grumpy, hurting, exhausted. So the reality is, I have to give myself grace. I have to allow myself to feel what I'm experiencing. I have to know when I've hit my limit. We have a chronic illness. I have to say that and remind myself of that, sometimes daily. I have a chronic illness, and it requires me to take time for myself. It's not selfish. It's the right thing to do. Maybe for you, it's meditation or yoga. Maybe it's going for a walk, going for a swim. Maybe it's watching a movie. Whatever it is, it gives you that relaxation, gives your mind a break from the stress. Allow yourself to experience that and find a way to communicate with those around you. I'm not feeling well today. It's a bad day. In one support group I was in, I remember, I've never forgotten it. I haven't done it. I've been thinking about it lately so that she doesn't have to verbally express. She and her partner, husband, I'm not sure, had a system where she would write on a chalkboard or something and put it on the refrigerator. It's a good day. It's not a good day. I'm okay, but I'm tired. Whatever it may be. I thought that was pretty cool. That would be a good thing to do, and it would allow my husband to know immediately. Although my YouTube channel is my new job, it doesn't feel like it to me. I get to share with you, and I'm so thankful for that. And hopefully together, we can build a community that supports one another. I hope you learned something. I send you gentle hugs and support. Love you. That's the first time that's happened that I've been taping. It was a lot.